Welcome to another Fireside Chat at NodeConf EU 2023. I'm Cody Zuschlag, Developer Relations Engineer at Nearform, and today I have a special guest, Patty. Patty, I think I'll just let you introduce yourself.
Yeah. I'm Patty O'Callaghan, very Irish name, but I'm from Venezuela. I'm a technical leader at Charles River Laboratories. I'm a computer scientist with a specialization in AI. And I am also a Google Women Tech Makers Ambassador and a Google Developer Expert in machine learning.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I'm so humbled by that title. So in this Fireside Chat, we're going to talk about some of the amazing things that you've been working on, creating workshops about around using AI and how to integrate that into applications. So I'm really excited about that. And be sure to stick around to the end because we're going to talk about a subject very passionate to you and something very important and relevant to this moment and kind of opening up tech more to women and girls. Yes. So be sure to stick around to the end. It's going to be an amazing fireside chat. So Patty, this is not your first NodeConf,
No.
is it?
No, it's not. Last year I was part of the conference for the first time.
Okay.
And I also ran a workshop on machine learning.
So last year you spoke and you did a workshop.
It was, yes, on a same, I think that one was 3 hours as well.
A 3-hour workshop. Okay, so as well. So you're giving away a secret that you're also a secret. We're letting the cat out of the bag. You're doing a workshop at NodeConf EU this year, and it's a workshop, 3-hour workshop.
Yes.
And so what's the subject? What's the title of the workshop?
It's private conversations with your documents with LangChain.js, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool because I'm going to be talking about, large language models like the very famous GPT, which ChatGPT is based on. They're very popular and it's kind of the new buzzword. Well, not the new, but it's pretty interesting because when a lot of companies want to use this kind of technology, then you will probably have it's happening everywhere, security concerns of, having to maybe share internal private data with these models, and maybe that data can be used to retrain the model. And let's explain it that way, and then you can maybe another person using the model can get to see something that it should be private.
Ooh, this is such an interesting point. So I want to make sure I understand right. I mean, if we're going to use an API to access a large language model, we can use either the data that's already trained on out of the box, but we could also use our own data to refine the large language model to our use case. And so what you're pointing out though is like, how would you handle the privacy concerns or how much data you share and who sees that data if they use your model?
Exactly.
Am I summarizing that?
Yeah, because this big, you can connect with all these huge large language models that you don't have the money to train because they are absolutely, or the hardware to train them. So obviously is an advantage to be able to use these ones that are already there. But that's the concern. Obviously, these companies, big companies providing these models, they have done, steps to prevent that and to offer more privacy to the users. But still, there's always going to be security concerns. So it's better if you can control it completely locally within your environment. So that's what we are going to be doing, and also adding that option where you can actually interact with the model, let's say kind of a chatbot, kind of your own.
We're thinking of GPT.
But you can ask it about your particular documents, your particular information. You're not going to find that with ChatGPT, for example, because it hasn't been trained over that data.
Okay. And so is this something that you've done in your own professional experiences, like using the large language models to help with projects you've worked on? Not
I,
yet, or it's coming. Like you sense
yeah,
that it's coming. This is like it's a
that's
wave
a
of the
tricky
future.
question. No,
Yeah.
the thing is that obviously every company and this technology is especially generative AI, right? Which is the technology, the part of artificial intelligence that is becoming so popular, is going so fast.
Right.
And the thing is that these models, GPT and others, they had been around for some years.
Right.
But OpenAI created ChatGPT. They just added like a really user-friendly interface,
Amazing. Yeah.
and then everyone started. It became so popular because you don't have to be like a, you know, data scientist. You don't have to be a machine learning specialist in order to start using these models. So obviously, it's going so fast. The
Yeah.
companies, they cannot keep up.
They can't keep up with this, right? And I love the point, or if I'm saying this right, of your workshop was to start thinking about, how could we integrate this technology into companies and enterprise software, but do it in a way that's kind of methodical, or thinking of some of the risks and mitigating those from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, because during the workshop we are going to actually do it, and we're going to use a model that is not very big, but it's still a large language model, and it can run locally on every laptop, of course.
So I want to get this straight though. So in 3 hours, people are going to interface with a large language model.
Locally.
Locally, are they customizing the data
With their own data.
That's possible in 3 hours?
Yes.
Wow. Oh, I think what time? I'm not going to ask the time because it won't be relevant for anyone watching. But I'm going to try to go to that workshop. That sounds amazing.
You should come. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was just kind of impressed that would even be possible in 3 hours. So they're going to run it on the model runs on their laptops. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
So the model is around like 3 gigabytes or something like that. Obviously, it's not the biggest one, but it's good enough, right,
Okay.
to understand like all of the tech stack or what you need in order to be able to interact with the model and interact with the document that you might want to use. You can use a URL, you can use a PDF, you can do a bunch of stuff. So it's cool because, for example, in my company, we have a generative AI policy, and we cannot use this kind of technologies because of the security concerns.
Okay.
But now that we can actually host it,
Running it locally mitigates.
host it on your own servers.
This is so cool.
Yeah. So then you have another kind of concerns. There are like the security one in terms of leaking information
Sure.
to the public. That's solved. Then you have issues like you have to be really careful about the responsible use of AI and the data that you are querying, even if it's internal. So there are other things to
Other
worry
concerns. Yeah.
but
yeah.
it's not going to be the one about leaking all your information
Yeah.
to the public, and also is easier.
What an exciting moment it feels like. I mean, the shock, I guess, of everybody having access to ChatGPT. I mean, this was pretty amazing, and hearing some of the stories of people using it in places we never thought. But now kind of taking that idea and like, let's make something really practical, build that into our software. I'm just so excited about the possibilities and things that we haven't even thought about. I don't mean to put you on the spot. Do you have any ideas? What do you think is an application for this? If we're building an app,
It's just that the options are so broad.
Right.
But just what you said, that is really impressive how this technology have come
how
to.
fast it's moving. Yeah.
Yeah, when I since I was a little girl, I wanted to be a computer scientist, and I was very passionate about robots, right? Because my dad really liked science fiction, so I grew up reading Isaac Asimov stories, and I just
Yeah.
I was very into artificial intelligence. And then I went to study computer science, and I specialized in AI many years ago.
Yeah.
It was not popular at all. It was very academic, AI.
Right.
There were no commercial
Yeah.
implementation. Actually, we were like 10 people studying AI.
Wow.
Well, the other, students were doing web development, web technologies, and so on. And everyone was like, "Why are you studying AI? That's like, are you planning to be an academic your whole
I
life?"
love that.
And just to train a model, it would take us a long time. You really needed to know a lot of maths, and it was complex.
Sure.
So now you go back, like 20 years later. For example, I run a code club in my local school. I go there
Oh wow.
one day per week,
How old are the students that are in the code club?
around 10 to 16,
10 to 16.
They
So they're
are
starting to write
amazing.
code at 10 years old?
and machine learning.
Machine learning. Oh,
They
this is
are
amazing.
amazing. So it's part of the Raspberry Pi Foundation. It's
Okay.
an initiative.
Okay. Love that.
And we are being part of a pilot with Google DeepMind.
Okay.
So some of the kids, they have done amazing stuff with machine learning. And for me, I think about what I was able to do when I was studying at uni. I was not able to do that. And now it's easy to access, just to have a basic working knowledge of, certain technologies that the kids are learning already in school. So one of them created an application to take the attendance.
Okay.
So the kids were entering into the classroom, and the application would recognize their faces. And he did an amazing job. He was 13.
13
And
years
he
old.
would come with me to conferences in London, in Google,
Wow.
to talk about his project.
Wow,
A 13-year-old,
at
and he
13.
was like showing the architecture.
Showing off.
The school didn't allow him to use the project
Okay.
because of the facial recognition
Okay,
challenges.
with children. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was secure. But
Okay.
the school,
Sure.
we tried to explain it.
Well, this is part of the times we live in, right? Is how are we going to adapt and be comfortable with these technologies? Oh, I love that. So, this is kind of some nonprofit or charity work. I know you're involved in some nonprofit charity work or foundation work. Can you just tell us a little bit about what kind of work you do? Is it all around tech?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm part of some community programs by Google.
Okay.
So I'm a Women Tech Makers ambassador, and what we do is that we organize, for example, conferences like this to, help women in tech, or girls that might be interested in joining
Yeah.
tech. And we do seminars, we mentor women in tech. Is a really amazing one. So we organize in Glasgow, in Scotland, a yearly conference, and it's free for women to attend. Everyone can attend, men as well.
Sure.
But all of the speakers are women's.
Oh, I love that. So for the folks that are watching, for girls, young women thinking about getting involved in tech, do you have any advice for them? What would be what can we do to make this a more diverse space? And what kind of advice could you give to a young?
Yeah, what I would really say is that I feel that girls might feel a little bit shy into getting into tech because it's a all male dominated industry. I see it in the code club. I
Yeah.
have 20 kids and 5 of them are girls.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's
We
just-
we have to acknowledge the fact, right? I mean, there's
Yeah, like the issue doesn't start at the university. The issue doesn't start at the workplace. It starts earlier. So I will say technology is amazing. It's fun. You can do well unless something breaks, but then you fix it and it's fun. But and I think that the perspective that girls and women can bring into the solutions and the brainstorming,
Yeah.
you can bring another kind of perspective. So don't feel shy. Don't feel afraid. Just go and be sure about the knowledge that you have.
Yep.
because that is also another situation that you might find. Usually, women in tech, there's only one girl in the teams,
Yeah.
and then it's a 10 developers team, just one woman, and she might feel afraid of, talk about something, and because, I'm not saying it's all of them, but I will say trust
Sure.
what you know.
Oh, I love that. I love that advice. I teach at the university also, and it's the same thing. The percentages are honestly shocking, and I loved what you said about having a more diverse mindset and just modeling the population in whole, right? Like that's what's missing in the tech sector. If people wanted to get more involved in some of those organizations or specifically around women in tech and girls in tech, where could they go? Do you have a couple of places they could look or some place they could get more involved in that?
Yeah, there are many amazing organizations. Of course, the Women Tech Makers one is great. We have ambassadors that are men.
Yeah.
We have a speaker here today that he's a guy and he's a Women Tech Maker ambassador, which is great.
Love that. So the men could get involved in that, and that's what we need, right? We need the whole community
Of course.
to make this a more
Yes.
welcoming space.
Absolutely. Because I also think that these kind of initiatives, even though for our conference, for example, we have 100% speakers that are female, but what we really try to push is let's try to talk more about technology.
Sure.
And of course, giving space to talks about soft skills, which obviously I think women are a little bit better in soft skills than guys. But we really want to focus on if you're a woman, and you're a speaker, come and talk about technology, the technology that you work on, because they need to start feeling comfortable into the tech is not just for the guys, we can also talk about the tech and what we're working on. And you want to talk about imposter syndrome, or you want to talk about how hard it is to be a mom and be in the tech, that's fine, and that is needed. We really need to share those experiences.
Yeah.
But I think we really want to, give them a push into let's really show that we are tech makers, right?
Be the expert that you are.
Of course, and share it. Everyone has something to share, right, in terms of the skills that they have.
Great. So we're just going to end it there. Patty, thank you so much for being here and have a wonderful conference.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.